Now let's talk about the D line, because a lot of people look at the offensive line as like an obvious weakness that might be overly criticized, even though, well, it gets a lot of criticism. Other people look at the defensive line as basically the strength of the team. And now that Nick Bosa and possibly even D Ford are coming back, that it's going to be back to being the greatest D line of all time. What do you think?
Wow. First of all, yeah, Nick Bosa is doing great. I saw a lot of videos of him doing his training right now. I do think that he is healing fast enough to be ready next season. He's a great guy. He had an ACL tear before, and he came back and played high level football. I do think that he can do that again after those videos. But I have to admit it that doing just some training on a track field or something like that is not like playing football.
Agree.
On a turf, for example.
Agree.
So I'm still concerned a bit, but I do think that will be great. But when this 49ers defensive line was in its greatest shape was when there were four guys who were starting. Nick Bosa, Arik Armstead, DeForest Buckner, and D Ford.
That's right.
So what we have seen last season is that Bosa can struggle when there is no other guy on the other side of the field who can generate pressure.
We saw that in 2019 too. He always was at his best when D Ford was on the field. Not to mention DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, and I wrote an article last season in Hungary when I just saw the guys, a lot of videos of the 49ers defensive line, why they were so successful. So first of all, there were always other teams were always double teamed DeForest Buckner. They tried the same with D Ford or Nick Bosa.
They did. Yeah.
And after that, there was Arik Armstead, who had the chance because of that to make as many pressure as he could. But to be honest, right now, I don't see that quality of this defensive line that we had back then. That's why I think that they will struggle. And of course, we lost Robert Saleh, who I think was a huge part of the success.
Yep, I agree. So you don't know what you're going to get from Nick Bosa. I mean, it looks like he's recovering well. You don't know how many snaps they're going to even let him play. And also the thing with Bosa, he's proven that he can come back from serious injuries. My question with him is, how many more will he have? Because he's 23 and he's had 3 like catastrophic injuries. So when's the next one coming? I see that he's a very hard worker and he's very good at rehabilitating. When's the next one coming? So there's that. D Ford, are you ever going to play again? Javon Kinlaw, are you good? Because the season he had last year statistically was worse than any season Solomon Thomas ever had. Is he an impact player? Arik Armstead, were you a 1-year contract year wonder? Kevin Givens had an assault charge. Is he coming back? He's a hell of a player. Kentavious Street, I like. DJ Jones, I like. They have good players. Samson Ebukam, I like. But this group might be a long way from what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. 2 years ago, this group was perfect. They had everything a defensive line could have.
Yes.
They had a unique combination of speed and strength with D Ford. They have a fantastic and once-in-a-lifetime ability of pass rush with Nick Bosa. They have had DeForest Buckner, who worked his ass off for this defensive line.
Yes. He's the one who led by example, yes.
For every year since he was with the 49ers. And they had DeForest Buckner, who was a mismatch for any other offensive guards because the guy has the size of a defensive tackle, but he can be as fast as a defensive end. We don't have that killer combination anymore, and I don't think that we could have that in the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, I see this defensive line, at least in 2021, with Bosa maybe being on a snap count. If you don't believe me, go back and check him out at Ohio State his freshman year. He tore his ACL in high school, went to Ohio State, and didn't play. He didn't play a ton in college. They were always very careful with him. The Niners could be careful with Bosa, especially considering he's had 2 torn ACLs and a torn groin muscle. That to me is a guy. It's like I've always compared him to like a race car in the red. Like he's way up in the 7-8. 1,000 RPMs and things in the engine are like breaking. You know, it's like you are not. I mean, it's very. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but he's a race car in the red. Yeah. Carlos says Kyle is delusional, thinking a pocket non-athlete quarterback is the way to go with how O-line played last year. Third pick has to be a game changer. Here's the one thing. Kyle says he wants a pocket quarterback. What is the state of the pocket in the NFL right now? You could argue that the pocket has been less safe than it's been in a long time. I mean, defensive linemen, pass rushers are so athletic, and the offensive linemen aren't. Yeah. That's the one thing.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that Kai wants a guy just because of these facts that you have said before. I'm pretty sure that Kai wants a guy who has a really quick release, who is a quick thinker, and I don't think that
Drew Brees.
Yeah,
Drew Brees. Yeah. Good luck,
guy. But there's no Drew Brees.
Good luck.
In the draft.
Yeah.
So
if you want Drew Brees, he just retired. Maybe make him an offer he can't refuse. But otherwise, Mac Jones is not going to be Drew Brees. You're better off with 43-year-old Drew Brees than 22-year-old Mac Jones. I'm sorry. But keep looking for that Drew Brees.